challenges. My goal for Pivot for Success is to provide an easy-to-use framework to make those changes. Based on that framework, I share stories from my life of how you can use my 10 pivot points strategically to make the changes you need. As I complete this book at the very beginning of 2021, we are in an incredible period of disruption, and also a time when history is being made. We all need to rise and use our gifts to bring positive energy to the world. This is not a time to be afraid. Why? The pace of change is so fast that if you are afraid of uncertainty and don't move forward, you will become obsolete. It's time to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now is not the time to stick our heads in the sand and wish for the best. Nor is it a time for just protest. Although protest is vitally important, we need concrete action on many levels to make the moves that get the results the world needs now. With reinvention, resilience, and resurrection, our mindsets can motivate us forward toward lives we never could have dreamed of or thought were out of reach, especially when the world is turned upside down. Entrepreneurship is in my DNA. I grew up in Detroit and always wanted to please my parents, who had high expectations for me and my 3 sisters. We were expected to get good grades, be good girls, marry, and have a family. Entrepreneurship was okay as a side hustle. Both my parents did that. But full-time? That wasn't really embraced. Getting a good job was the right thing to do. But I always heard the whisper of my own siren song. So I tried many things, balancing bouts of doubt with fearless actions. Pivot for Success tells what I went through to land a debate team scholarship to go to my dream school, Howard University in Washington, D.C., when I already had a full scholarship to go to Michigan State. I didn't realize it then, but entrepreneurship was in my DNA. As a kid, I took rose petals from my mother's prized rose garden, soaked them in water, filled little vials, and sold perfume to my mother's friends. The fragrance of being my own boss was compelling, seductive, and addictive. At 10 or 11, I had a lock on babysitting in my neighborhood. Later on, even when I worked for someone else, I was an intrapreneur, always wanting to create something new or do things my own way. At the age of 48, I started the Comfort Cake Company, makers of pound cake so good it feels like a hug. Yet, even armed with an Ivy League degree and more than 20 years of corporate experience, during which my teams successfully launched multi-million-dollar brands, banks wouldn't give me a loan. No matter, I pivoted, sold my home to finance the business, and United Airlines became our first customer. Another pivot occurred when my favorite cousin was killed in a tragic car accident, and I had to comb a wig on her head while the mortician put her face back together. In that moment, I came to a profound understanding about life. I knew then that as long as I wasn't dead, if I could look up, I could get up. These and many other stories have built my resilience, ignited reinvention, and helped me embrace resurrection in many forms. This book covers the 10 pivot points, or Power Ps, as I originally called them, that have guided me for decades as I've made key decisions. I initially presented the power